Hey everybody, just a heads up regarding the recording you're about to hear. This week's episode was actually amazing. It's one of my favorite episodes we've ever recorded. And it actually ended up being really, really long. And the reason for that is we have a great guest with us. It's Mr. Jonathan Oakes. He is a trivia Hall of Famer and host of the Trivial Warfare podcast that a lot of you, I'm sure, have already listened to. He's playing trivia with us this week, and we really wanted to put on a good show. So what we've done is we wrote our biggest trivia game ever, and it is going to be Jonathan and Leah taking on Steven and Mike. Now, this trivia episode ended up being about 2.5 hours when it was done being edited because we had that many trivia questions and that good a conversation. So it's being split up into 2 episodes. You're going to hear the first half this week, the second half next week. I will tell you, after the first half that you hear this week, if you stay till after the credits as well, you're going to hear a lot of the banter that got taken out because this is one of my favorite episodes. I didn't want you guys to go without the banter. If you're one of those people that loves hearing good people having fun conversations, stay till after the show. You'll hear a few minutes of it. If you're enjoying the show, give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to the show. Write us a review. That would be amazing. If you want to be on the show, whether you want to write a game or come on and play with us, pubtriviaexperience@gmail.com is the place to do that. Without further ado, though, let's jump right into the show. Welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we have got a packed freaking house tonight. We don't have our regular game. We've got a new special game that we're going to be trying out here. But before we get into that, we got like everybody here. Not literally because, social distancing and crap like that, but figuratively speaking, all of my favorite people are here. So before we get started, let's go over to my left. Everyone say hello to my lovely wife, Leah.
Hey, everyone.
How you doing, babe?
I'm awesome. I am baby-free tonight, so I am drinking a $10 bottle of black cherry rum by Cruisin', and I'm mixing it with a little Diet Coke, so I'm happy.
That sounds delightful.
It doesn't taste like alcohol. It's like a cherry Coke. It's basically what I'm drinking right now.
Okay, so this is going to be Leah After Dark.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Me too. Let's go ahead. Let's go. I can't believe I said that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to throw this out there to a man who has both of his hands over his face. All the way out to freaking Bama. Mr. Mike Mott, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, everyone. I'm doing good. No, Leah Cruisin' is a great rum, so cheers to that. Hey, everyone. So tonight I've got the Ardbeg 10-year. It's an Islay single malt Scotch. Islay is the region that also Laphroaig and Lagavulin is from. So they're known for that kind of smokier flavor. This goes down really smooth for a 10-year. I kind of just tried it on a whim, and it is very good.
Those are the scotches that, like, you can't drink a cigar you can't drink a cigar at all, but you can't smoke a cigar while...
You definitely can't drink a cigar. But these scotches are sort of like drinking a cigar.
They are.
Yes.
They're very smoky. It's like drinking a forest fire or a campfire. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I had the Lagavulin a couple months ago, Nikki said she couldn't sit near me while I was drinking it because it made her sick. She could catch the smoky flavor, and with her pregnancy nausea and everything like that, it made her sick.
Yeah, I couldn't. While Leah was pregnant, I wasn't allowed to smoke a cigar at all. The one night I did, I had to come home, throw all my clothes right in the dryer, in the washer, and I had to walk directly to the shower, not near our house, and take like a 30-minute shower. She couldn't handle it. Neither here nor there.
Isn't that generally true?
No, generally she just can't handle me.
Fair.
We're going to take this all the way out to Dallas, Texas. Steven, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I had chicken nuggets for dinner tonight, so I'm feeling very adult, very posh, about as classy as I can get.
Are those like nuggets you made from home, or did you actually order out?
See, here's the thing. Nuggets from home are going to be like those Tyson bag nuggets, which are chewing like a tire. Nobody likes home nuggets. Not even the dinosaur shapes make up for it. You got to order out for nuggets. That's just common fact.
And who did you order from?
Well, McDonald's. I went classy.
I don't think anyone's ever put those words together before. I'll say this controversial opinion here, Steven. I'll take Wendy's nuggets over McDonald's nuggets.
Spicy nuggets, yes. Not regular
their spicy nuggets are good. And Steven, you've had your nuggets. What are you drinking?
Well, the watered down McFlurry that melted while I was waiting for you to connect the call.
A McFlurry does sound good, right? Yeah. It does. So before we bring on our next host, I want to just give a shout out here. I have got a sampling of beers tonight from Rock Brothers Brewing. Rock Brothers is a local brewery right here in Tampa. It is really cool. It's right down in Ybor, so it's in the part of Ybor they're trying to kind of reclaim and bring back. It's a beautiful bar. They have a huge Scotch and bourbon and whiskey selection as well. But they partner from time to time with bands from all over the U.S. So last recording, you all heard that I was drinking a 311 Amber Ale. I have one of those left, and it's in my cooler here to my left. But the reason we went out there is because my wife is a huge fan of Chris Daughtry.
Woohoo!
And Chris Daughtry brewed his own beer through them, and it is a September Ale.
And it's the only place you can actually get his ale. Like, you have to order it online, and they ship it from Tampa, from this brewery. So it's the only place you can get his beer right now.
And on the bottom of every can, it actually is texted. It's typed on there, thanks, Daughtry. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot here.
Please be good, please be good, please be good.
Oh, that's refreshing as hell.
Oh, good.
Oh, man. That is, that might be the perfect summer beer. So in Florida, that's 10 months out of the year I can drink this. That's great.
For sure.
All right. Mike, you would like this. You've had a couple of Rock Brothers before, but you would like this. It is good. So I've beat around the bush enough. We are joined by, without going too much into this, the reason the Pub Trivia Experience probably exists. Leah and I have been together for a while, but back when Hurricane Irma came through, there was a podcast we had been listening to for about a week at that point. And we knew we were going to be without power and things like that. And we didn't know if we were going to have cell phone service because we looked like we were going to take a dead-on hit from Irma. So we went through and downloaded 70 episodes? Yeah, 70 episodes of a podcast called Trivial Warfare. And if you're listening to this show, you probably have heard of them already. But throughout the 3 or 4 days that we did not have power here in Tampa, we burned through about every episode we could. We actually got in the car and drove around to recharge our phones and listen to it. So we are joined by someone I am going to affectionately refer to as the Podfather of trivia podcasts, Mr. Jonathan Oakes.
Hello, hello, hello. It's great to be here.
Jonathan, how is life treating you, sir?
You know what? There's a thunderstorm booming outside my window, but in my recording space, it is a cool 73 degrees. I just finished a Stella, and I'm feeling good.
Nice. So Jonathan is a trivia aficionado, and this is your third recording today, is that right?
It is my third recording today, yes.
So suffice
going
to say,
on
Jonathan,
hour number 7.
he is warmed up and ready to go. So here's how today's game is going to go for everybody. We have got a game. It is going to be Jonathan and Leah taking on the Legion of Doom known as Steven and Mike. I am going to be hosting, and this game's a little bit different than other games we've played. As you know, at the Pub Trivia Experience, we don't stick to one format when we can. When we go out for live, we do. But by and large, we try and play around and have some fun. So this game is going to be 6 rounds of trivia. All 6 rounds are themed. The point values in the rounds are going to go between 1 and 400 points. The team that's choosing will get to choose what theme they want and what their point value will be. Theoretically, the questions should get higher as the point values go up. I don't know how well I did, so we'll see how that goes. At the end of the game, we will have our usual wager round, and we'll explain that when we get to it. But Each team is also going to be given 2 rebounds. The way a rebound works is this. I will read a question. The team that is not supposed to answer it can at that point be asked if they want to rebound. If they select to use a rebound, if the team that I'm asking the question to gets it wrong, the answering team will then give us their already locked in answer. They will not have time to discuss it, so there's going to be a lot of trust placed on their partners to see if they really know their shit. Does anybody have any questions about how this game is going to go?
No, sir.
Your categories for tonight's game. You've got sports, United States tourism, hodgepodge, a literature tribond, advertising, and entertainment. We drew straws before the game, and we know that this game is going to start with Leah and Jonathan. What category do you want to go with, and what point value are we starting with?
All right, Jonathan, I'll let you pick what you want to start us with.
So let me ask you a question first. I assume Chris wrote these questions. What are his favorite categories? That'll help me know whether they're easier or harder than normal.
So I would say that his strongest categories are movies and geography. So there's no geography questions on here. Maybe U.S. tourism maybe would fall into geography a little bit, I guess. And then entertainment, I guess, would be the closest to movies. So I think those are his 2, because those are my strongest.
Okay.
And I think those are his 2. He's better than I am, just as a disclaimer, since we've never met. I would say those are my strongest categories, but that doesn't mean that I'm strong in those categories.
What I find is that if we are good at a category, then we tend to write harder questions about it.
Right.
For me, I like sports. I feel pretty good about literature tribonds, and I should be okay at entertainment. So any of those 3 categories I'm good with, and I think that it'd be smart to start with either 200 or 300 on whichever one of those you want to do.
Okay, well, I'll let you pick. You're our guest today.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do a sports question for 200.
Your question, sports for 200. Florida State University Heisman Trophy winner and all-around good guy Charlie Ward was drafted by 3 different professional teams, but none of them for football. I want you to name one of the 3 professional teams from the Big 4 sports that drafted Charlie Ward.
Lee, he was a New York Knick.
Hold on.
Do they want to do the thing?
Mike and Steven, would you like to try and steal?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not confident in this. I think we'll pass.
Okay, they're not going to go with the rebound. Leah and Jonathan, talk it out.
Okay, yeah, I don't know it all. So whatever you feel like you know, that's good.
He was a point guard for the New York Knicks in the 90s. So I would feel confident in the New York Knicks.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, lock it in.
Yeah.
They have locked in the New York Knickerbockers, and they are 100% correct.
Woohoo!
Charlie Ward was drafted by the New York Knicks and actually made an all-star team as a Knick before being eventually traded to the Spurs, I believe. Charlie Ward was not drafted by the NFL. He flat out said that if he didn't go in the first round, he'd prefer not to get drafted, so he was not drafted. He was drafted twice in the Major League Baseball draft, but never entered into a contract. That was with the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Yankees.
How do you get drafted twice for baseball?
So in baseball, if you're drafted once, you have the option of not signing that contract, and you can re-enter the draft the next year.
Ooh, so you can say, nope, I don't like that team?
Yeah, so his first, the Brewers drafted him, like he hadn't played baseball since high school. The Brewers drafted him in like the 58th round or something along those lines. And then I think the Yankees got him in like the 19th round and obviously just decided to play basketball.
Oh, okay.
Steven and Michael, you are now trailing by 200 points. What are we going with?
Up to you, Steven. Where do you want to start?
So I want to go ahead and start somewhere in the hodgepodge just because I want to know what that's like.
Right.
It's like in Wheel of Fortune where they make the category things and I want to punch them in the face because it means nothing.
Take your best shot, my friend. You get one. You get one punch. 1.
Okay.
Then I'll
Free
be napping
punch.
for a while.
One free punch. I'm going for the nuts. Just to let you know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's really only one chance.
What are we going with?
200.
Hodgepodge for 200. Steven and Mike, your category is in liquor. Steven's favorite category.
Oh, shit.
What southern United States...
Aren't we supposed to be able to rebound?
After I read the question.
Oh, after the question. Okay.
If you
Sorry. Sorry, we've never done this rebound thing before. I'm not sure
This is all new. This is all new.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
My apologies.
Here we go. What southern U.S. liquor company gives away a free bottle of their product to every employee on the last Friday of every month? Jeff Norman, their master taster, jokes that, quote-unquote, no one misses that day of work. Leah and Jonathan, would you like to attempt to use a rebound?
I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I have a guess at it, but it's just a guess. I wouldn't rebound.
Yeah.
All right, Mike and Steven, talk it out.
So,
yeah, I don't have any particularly strong, like the first, when I hear, Southern Company, I think of like Jack Daniels was the
that's
first thing
exactly
popping
where
to mind.
I don't know for sure, but that sounds kind of like a Jack Daniels thing because they always
Right.
advertise what a family their company is. So
Right.
that's where my thoughts went, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to come up with a better guess, so I'm fine with locking in Jack Daniels.
I'm there with you. We'll lock in with Jack Daniels.
They have locked in with Jack Daniels, and that is 100% correct. Nicely done. So we've got 200 points each as we bring this over to Leah and Jonathan. What are we going with next?
Leah, how about literature tribonds for 200? How do you feel about that?
Sounds good.
Literature tribonds for
Yeah,
200.
you're strong in literature, so sounds good to me.
I'm not sure how challenging his questions are going to be. I'm hedging my bets by going 200. We're going to find out.
Right.
Well, keep in mind, I just learned how to read last week, so this is going to be fun.
I was going to say, I don't see you reading a lot.
All right.
So
I've got Dr. Zeus ready to go. Here we go.
Dr. Zeus?
Zeus, whatever.
that one that rhymes. He rhymes all the time,
Okay. So I will mention, Jonathan and Leah have found one of our bonus answers.
Oh.
What does that mean?
It means
I don't
that
know.
you're going to have, there is a 2-point bonus on this
okay.
question. There are bonus answers in every category except for Hodgepodge, I believe. So
we get 200 if we get it right, and we get 2 extra points.
2 extra points.
Well,
All
that's
right.
not very much compared to 200.
Hey, that can be a difference maker, though.
If we lose 2,400 to 2,402, I'm going to be really pissed.
Yeah, awesome.
Jonathan and Leah, here's your 200-point question in literature tribonds. What 2-time Pulitzer Prize winning author and Presidential Medal of Freedom winner wrote the following 3 books? The Jonestown Flood, 1776, and Truman. And a bonus 2 points if you can tell me what U.S. president awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Before you talk it out, Michael and Steven, if they get it wrong, would you like to use your rebound?
I mean, Steven, I know the answer to this question, but
If you know it, go ahead and rebound it because I do not.
I mean, it's just one of those like.
You got no. There's no talking it out. Mike, do you want to use your rebound?
Sure, I'll use
Okay.
a rebound.
They have locked in the rebound. Jonathan and Leah, you are free to talk it out. Mike, send me your answer.
Oh yeah.
So, Leah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not. It sounds like it's not a fiction writer. It sounds like a historian.
Right.
So, and if it's a historian that started writing after, or at least was writing after the 1940s, because he wrote a book about Truman, who was president in the late 40s. So this is somebody who was writing in the 50s or later.
Right.
2-time Pulitzer doesn't help a lot.
And I'm picturing, I feel like I've seen the did you say 1776 was one of them?
1776 is the name of one of the books.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that in like a Barnes & Noble in like a bestseller section because I can picture what the outside of the book looks like. But
Or on my bookshelf.
well, I don't go into that room.
Wow, shade.
Oh, and you have a lot of history books too. I know you have
So-
one on Hamilton. You have one on like John Adams and stuff like that too.
There's three major biographers that I can think of.
Okay.
Chernow. So Chernow wrote the book on Alexander Hamilton that
Yes.
led to the musical.
Yes, we have that one. That's one that Chris has.
McCullough did the series on John Adams that led to the HBO miniseries.
With Paul Giamatti. Yep, I know
I
that.
think so, yes. And Edmund Morris did a 3-part biography on Teddy Roosevelt that was fantastic. So those guys could have all been historical writers. If you have a book by Chernow, it's possible that it's Chernow because Chris is known to read him. And
Right.
he just said he has it on his desk or has it on his bookcase.
Right. I know he has, I think, at least 3. Because I feel like I've seen. I didn't know he had the 1776 one, but I know we have the Hamilton one. And I feel
Well, we
like
don't
he
know if
has
those
one
are
on John
even
Adams.
his. Like, if we don't know if this writer did those.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I know Chris has that one, and I know he has like a John. I think he has a John Adams one, or I've seen a John Adams one somewhere. So, yeah, I would be between McCullough or whoever you said did the John Adams miniseries, or the Chernow one, just based on Chris.
Yeah.
So I'm on board with either of those. The other guy I'd never even heard of. So
So I only became aware of Chernow with the Alexander Hamilton stuff. I was already aware of McCullough, so maybe he's a bigger name for biographies. So maybe lean towards McCullough there.
okay, well, yeah, because I mean I know Chernow became more popular with the Hamilton musical because that was what Lin-Manuel Miranda was reading that he wrote the musical for. So I
Right.
don't know if he's done anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense if we think that McCullough has probably done more, that he would have 3 and be a Pulitzer Prize, whatever the question said he had. So
Okay. Well, let's guess McCullough then.
Yep, we're
And
guessing
in
McCullough.
terms of who gave the award,
I don't know.
hey, a random guess. A book on Truman. Let's
Yeah,
guess
someone
it
after
was done
Truman.
about 30 or 40 years afterwards. So maybe Ronald Reagan, or no, the guy's still writing, I think. Maybe Clinton.
Okay. Yep, that sounds good.
All right, we'll do our guess as Clinton for the bonus.
And what was your locked-in answer?
McCullough.
They've locked in McCullough and Clinton. Nicely done. You got the correct answer. It is David McCullough.
Ooh, good job.
Holy
Jonathan.
Well done.
crap.
Well logicked.
I made sure I did not include John Adams in there.
I
included
noticed.
his other Pulitzer Prize winning book was on Truman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't even know who Truman is.
Harry
So
S. Truman.
1776 was actually a spin-off of John Adams. He had leftover material, and that's why he wrote that.
Oh.
Wow.
And the Medal of Freedom was actually awarded by George W. Bush.
Oh.
All right.
Well, that's a good guess,
So
too.
200 points right there. Nicely done.
Well
Whew,
done.
man, that was super lucky.
Yeah.
That
that was
was-
just a guess.
That's not when I said when we picked tribonds. Now I know that these are just questions that have 3 things, not 3 different things, and you're trying to figure out what they have in common. That's what I thought we were going with there.
No, so maybe I didn't make that clear. I apologize. The Tribond will be 3 books or 3 works by one author, and you have to identify who the author is. All right, Mike and Steven, what are we going with?
So we got sports, U.S. tourism, hodgepodge, literature, tribond, advertising, and entertainment. Entertainment's wide open, but I guess I'm just inclined to see what that is. And we've been sticking with 200 so far, so let's keep it rolling. 200 entertainment.
Entertainment for 200. What big budget Hollywood director got his start in directing commercials? You may not know it, but the infamous Got Milk commercial featuring Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton was directed by him. There is an opportunity for bonus points here if you can tell me which one of the films that he has directed has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score. Jonathan and Leah, do you wish to try and rebound?
Not me.
No, I mean, I can guess, but I don't want to risk it, so.
I'm with you.
There's no rebound here. Mike and Steven, talk it out.
Okay, so I don't know the bonus, but I can tell you it was definitely Michael Bay that directed the Got Milk commercials.
I was thinking Michael Bay. I honestly was, but I was. It was like one of those random trivia things. I was like, oh, I feel like I know this, and so I'm glad you said Michael Bay because I'm like, I feel like maybe Michael Bay. Okay, I'm cool with Michael
his
Bay.
Highest Rotten Tomatoes scored movie?
Probably didn't he do Armageddon?
He did Armageddon, but I would think it would either be the first Bad Boys or The Rock.
Oh, he did The Rock too. That's right. Yeah,
The Rock still hasn't gotten over that.
One of those Hold on, what did I miss? I missed that.
The Rock says, shut your mouth.
The Rock says, "You're welcome."
The Rock has become a tourist attraction.
Okay.
Honestly, I like of those two. My inclination is probably The Rock, but it's also just that might just be because it was the one I love the most.
Yeah, that's. I'm thinking the same thing because, like, I know those are two like highly acclaimed films,
right.
but I'm definitely personally more in love with The Rock than I am with Bad Boy.
Yeah, the only thing is Bad Boys did come out before The Rock, and like so maybe it was a little fresher. His style was a little fresher, so
That could be.
it's. I mean, it's up. I think I'd still go with The Rock, but it's up to you. I don't know what you think.
All right, let's not. I'm going to feel better if we go with our instinct and get it wrong than if we talk ourselves out of the correct answers. Let's go with The Rock.
Agreed.
You have locked in with Michael Bay and The Rock. And holy shit, did you get that right?
Wow.
The Rock, if I'm not mistaken, is his only certified fresh movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
And by the way, when we ever get around to recording my 5 favorite films, I'm going to tell you right now, The Rock is probably on there because it might be my favorite action movie of all time. I love that movie.
The Rock is phenomenal. I mean, it just is.
It's The Rock or it's Aliens. It's one of those two.
It's you. You're the Rocket Man. Boom.
Very
It's
true.
so stupid, but it's awesome.
It's very bad, but it's so great. Okay, Jonathan and Leah, what are we going with?
Hey, Chris, before we guess or before we pick a category, if we miss the question, do we lose the points?
No, you do not lose points until the wager round.
Okay.
Same thing with a rebound. If you rebound and get it wrong, the only thing you lose is that opportunity to rebound. You do not lose anything else.
So, Leah, how would you feel about doing sports for 400? So what I'm thinking here is because you're not risking losing the points, that makes a difference. But the way the format works is a team can get one 400-point question out of 2 tries, and that's just as good as getting 2 200-point questions. And eventually, the team that goes for all the 400-point questions has a better chance at getting more points. Just think it's strategy.
I'm going to throw this out there. Jonathan, you are driving me to drink.
You're on your second one already? Wow.
I'm on my second one already, too.
This is the same thing from Rock Brothers. This is the Nothing Too Fancy Pale Ale, which, Mike, I'm starting to like pale ales now.
Ugh.
Is that the same as an IPA?
Not quite, but it's
close
basically
enough.
It
Yeah,
is.
you don't like IPAs.
It's the pumpkin spice lattes of the over 30s white men.
Oh, what do we call that? Nikki taught us that phrase. What was it?
We're basic.
Yeah, basic.
We're basic bitches.
Yeah, basic bitch. Yeah.
Okay.
That word that you said. Yeah.
Are you willing to go 400 on sports with me?
Yep, Jonathan, that logic sounds great. I will not know the answer, but if you feel confident, I am all about it.
We're going to find out whether or not this was a good idea based on the question, I think.
Ooh, I'm better at I'm not good at basketball. Don't let it be a basketball and not like golf or tennis.
I've got the questions here written already. I'm not Elizabeth Montgomery. I can't twinkle my
If
damn
you could
nose.
make the question from 90s NFL, that'd be really helpful, thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
Make that work.
I have some bad news for the both of you because we're going to go about as far away from the 90s NFL as we can get.
Is it going to be like 1940s golf or something?
Here is your question. Since 1954, Sports Illustrated has annually given the Sports Person of the Year award to the person or team who best embodies the spirit of sportsmanship that year. Since it started, Only 2 individuals have won the award twice. Name one of them.
I think I know one.
Hold on.
Wait for it.
Michael and Steven, do you wish to rebound?
Not I.
No, I've got guesses, but nothing confident enough. I'm going to pass.
Yep.
Jonathan and Leah, talk it out.
All right, Leah, what are you thinking?
I listen to a lot of trivia podcasts, but I don't retain a lot of knowledge on them. But I
Okay.
listen to a lot, and I think that I've heard this question before, or a very similar question. And I'm allowed to say, right, what I think?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think one of them is Tiger Woods.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I have no idea who the other one would be. Maybe like a baseball person. I don't know.
Did you hear a name
Like a name of what?
for the
Like,
for the other person?
No.
Okay.
No idea.
So
But I feel like Tiger Woods was one of them. So I think like whatever trivia question that I heard before, somehow Tiger Woods is coming to mind. The other one I would have no idea. But how many do we need to know? Do we need to know both of them?
just one. Just
Just
one.
one.
The thing that worries me about Tiger Woods, if it's just, hey, who was the most outstanding athlete of a given year, then I'd be like, yeah, Tiger Woods, let's do this. But he said awarded for sportsmanship.
Right.
I'm not saying Tiger Woods is a bad person, but I don't have any recollection of him being like, hey, that's a sportsmanship-focused kind of guy.
Because golf is like an individualized sport, or just
No,
because
not
he's like
that.
known
Just-
as like an
just-
attitude. He has
No,
some, like,
no,
bad
he's not
things
a
against
like
him.
it. No, he's a great player, and it could be the answer because the people who stand out, the great players, are the ones that stand out, right?
Right.
I would have thought maybe somebody like a Tom Brady or a Pittman. Not Tom Brady's a cheater. Maybe like a Peyton Manning, though. I could see something like that, right?
Or Tom Brady before Deflategate.
Yeah, well, no. Tom Brady's always been a cheater.
Go Bucks.
They were videotaping people back in the 2000s. They've been cheating
okay.
since he got there. I hate
Peyton
Tom
Manning.
Brady.
Yeah, people like Peyton Manning. He's very popular. I would say if we were going to go with a football player, I can't think of another one that's more well-liked. Maybe, I mean, Drew Brees people like, but I don't know if he's really up there. Feel like Peyton Manning
He
has a
could
better
have definitely
reputation.
won when they won the Super Bowl. What was? Read the question again, Chris. I just want to make sure I got all the language right.
Yep. Since 1954, Sports Illustrated has annually given its Sportsmanship of the Year award to the person or team that best embodies the spirit of sportsmanship that year. Since it started, only 2 individuals have won the award twice. Name one of them. And I will clarify here, the individual has won twice. They did not win it as part of a team, then won on their own. They have literally won it twice themselves.
Yeah. Sportsmanship and being great are different things.
Right.
You know?
So who else? Like, if you were going to think the best bet in football, would you say it would be Peyton Manning?
That is who I would lean to. Yes. Peyton Manning was kind of a golden child kind of guy. Maybe a Johnny Unitas. But I honestly, Peyton gets a lot of love.
Yeah, he does. What about basketball? Is there anyone for basketball besides Jordan?
Joe Dumars literally has their sportsmanship award named after him.
Okay.
But I don't think that he's high profile enough to have won it twice for all sports.
I've never heard of him, so.
Yeah. If it was
Tennis?
hockey, you could look at Gretzky.
Right.
And
And I
it's
don't
not-
read Sports
it's not
Illustrated, so.
Yeah, Gretzky's not an awful guess. Gretzky's actually a pretty good guess. So let's go back to Tiger Woods, because if I was just straight up guessing, then Peyton Manning might be a person I go with. Tell me what you heard. Like, what can you remember about the question and answer that you heard?
Like, I feel like the question wasn't worded that way. Like, I feel like it said, like, I don't know if it was something like Tiger Woods has, been selected as the whatever of the year for what magazine or something like that. And I think it was sports. Like, it was definitely worded differently.
And it was twice, though?
I feel like it was, because it wouldn't have been. Tiger Woods has been nominated once. for the cover of a magazine, unless there's another magazine that he's been on the cover of that's a high-profile sports magazine.
I mean, the key to it is the twice.
Right.
So, like in the question, if I was writing that question that you heard, I would have given you the years. Do you remember hearing any years?
No, I don't.
Okay. If you want to go Tiger Woods, it's as good a guess as any. We are guessing, and if you feel like you heard Sportsman of the Year or Sports Illustrated in that question, then that's probably the right choice.
Right, and I feel like the wording, like, I didn't get tripped up when because like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I don't retain a lot, but I don't remember, like, getting tripped up on the word sportsman. I feel like it was, like, athlete of the year or something like that, is probably how it was worded.
Oh. If it's athlete of the year, that could be completely different.
Right.
Because Tiger Woods could have won that a bunch of times.
Right. Like, it could have been, like, an ESPN's whatever of the year, but...
See, now you're scaring me away from it.
No. But I got so excited, I thought I knew it.
If you don't remember the question saying sportsman or sportsmanship or anything like that, then I think maybe we lean towards Peyton Manning instead.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, this out of all athletes over the last 70 years, this is not easy. But it's as good a guess as any. All right, we're good. Peyton Manning.
Yeah, let's go Peyton Manning. He's nice. People like him.
They have locked in with Peyton Man Thing. Be his porn name, by the way.
What commercials does he do? He does the ones with Brad Paisley. I don't even know. That's
oh
nationwide.
Shoot, we should have done Derek Jeter. You know they love Derek Jeter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys
More than A-Rod.
You keep naming Tampa athletes. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, they have locked in with Peyton Manning. Unfortunately, that is not correct.
Oh no.
All right.
There are two. In 2012 and in 2016, the award was won twice by Mr. LeBron James.
Oh, I always forget about him.
And then winning it in 1996 and
Derek
in the
Jeter.
year 2000.
96 and 2000?
Yes. The Yankees won their first championship in forever in 96, and they won it again in 2000.
It was Tiger Woods.
What?
Oh, no!
Oh!
No!
I would have said Derek Jeter too. Oh my goodness.
It's well before all that stuff came out with him. 96 was, I think, his first Masters win, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Leah.
I don't know sports. I have no, like, I hear things and I don't remember.
I think he won it, if I'm not mistaken, going back to my research on this, he won it in 96 as an amateur. And I believe it's the year he won the Masters. And then he won it again in 2000. He that was back when he was just on it. It was Tiger.
Well, Jonathan's logic talked me out of it. I was like, well,
you're right. It's completely my fault, and I apologize.
Moving on.
Okay.
We are going to Mike and Steven. What are we going with here, gentlemen?
Okay, so despite their Tiger Woods cruising, I think the logic about picking the 400 questions was actually sound.
Agreed.
And I think we should also avoid the hodgepodge category because that one doesn't have a bonus. So
Let me
400
validate
and
that.
something else.
Hold on. Because that 2 points really makes a difference. Hold on.
Well, it may
now
at
it
this
does.
point.
Yep, the hodgepodge does not have a bonus.
So we want to do
Are we supposed to know that before we go into it? What are we doing here? What's that? What you need to tell us which categories do have bonuses?
The only category that does not have a bonus is hodgepodge. It's also the only category that does not have a final question.
And we've only done one bonus. We've only found one bonus question, or two?
No, we found two.
We found two.
They got The Rock, and we missed the president.
Oh, the president one. Okay.
Mike and Steven, what are you thinking?
So want to do like 400 in the geography category?
We're calling U.S. tourism the geography category.
We know what it is.
Hey, I that's all you, as you know, but yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, tourism 400.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
What state east of the Mississippi River was the only state in the U.S. that, up until 2013, did not have a national park, national monument, national historic site, or any other unit that fell under the purview of the National Park Service? Jonathan and Leah, would you like to attempt to steal? Or not steal, but to rebound?
Well,
Hell no.
we've got like like 5 seconds to figure it out, so no, I can't figure that out in 5
Hell
seconds.
Mike and Steven, talk it out.
What? I'm going to buy time. Can I get the question again?
I'd answer Tiger Woods if I was you.
I got big balls.
It's a 400-point question. What state east of the Mississippi River was the only state in the U.S. that, up until 2013, did not have a national park, national monument, national historic site, or any other unit that fell under the purview of the National Park Service?
Okay, so east of the Mississippi.
That narrows it down a little bit.
Narrows it down. Also, I'm going to float this at you. I feel like a smaller geographic state is probably going to be what it is because they're not going to have as much room.
Fair.
So think like one of the little New England states.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be honest. As a resident of it, I was kind of my first thought was Alabama. But your logic, I like your logic.
Okay.
Because with National Historic Sites was part of that, right?
Okay. Yeah. So
that's the only kind of limiting factor for the smaller New England states because so much history happened there.
I want to think of you're right. We need to think of a New England state that doesn't have any famous like Revolutionary War battles in it.
Did literally anything ever happen in Vermont other than the founding of Ben and Jerry's?
Well, Vermont's a trick because it wasn't one of the 13 colonies. It was
true.
Republic.
Right.
But I feel like Vermont, you gotta save the maple tree so people can go tap it. And
that's a good point.
Pay way too much for bread and breakfast.
Also, us fat people celebrate and love Ben and Jerry's.
Oh,
Just
there you
keep
go.
that in mind.
I'm a chunky monkey aficionado. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna put this out there.
Throw it.
Rhode Island or Delaware?
Ooh. See, I wondered about Rhode Island.
Small states that I can't think of anything important ever happening in.
All right, let's just throwing it out there too. We can take it from a different angle. That 2013 was thrown out there. Was there something maybe that could have happened in 2013 that would have pushed one of these states on there? That
2013, was that before the plague and before democracy fell apart, or
yes,
I don't know. It's all hazy back then. It's
right
before time.
That's right, before the end times.
That was pre-cataclysm.
2013.
Might wanna.
I can't think of any. It'd be real convenient if there was for the purposes of this question, it would have been real convenient if there was a famous terrorist attack or something that would have helped us on that date.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, it's a horrible thing to say, but
it's a horrible thing to say.
It's a shame there wasn't a terrorist attack we could pin this down with.
So, all right, back. I don't think he necessarily said it was a shame. No, Stephen, I like your logic. Of those two, Delaware still has that whole "we're the first state to ratify the Constitution" thing.
True.
Which I feel maybe gives it a little bit of an edge in that I could see them being like, hey, that place where we gave the thumbs up, we're going to mark that as a historical site.
Yeah, but a historical site is not a park, is the problem.
That's true. And Rhode Island has the longest name of any state.
That's true. It's also named after an island, despite being completely landlocked.
Right.
I feel it's also got more coastline. I feel like more coastline is going to be more like a park.
True. That's a good point. Good point. I don't have.
Did you just say it's completely landlocked and it has more coastline?
How is that possible?
I was just letting that one
fly. I was wondering if anyone wants to hear that.
Have you guys ever heard of Iowa Island? What are we talking about
Haven't
here?
you guys been to Rhode Island before? I mean, come on.
I haven't. It could be in Narnia for all I know.
Meanwhile,
another one potentially, just throwing it out, it's probably got some historical sites, but since it's so populous, I don't know if there's any space for a national park. Would be New Jersey.
Fair.
I mean, we're really just spitballing at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I think we either go with Rhode Island or Delaware. Those are the. And we could be completely wrong. It could be Vermont or Connecticut or something, or could be Georgia for all I know.
Sure, absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's not Georgia, but I bet I could be no, because like Georgia has like it's got to have something. Anyway.
No, I think we're doing better with the smaller geographic states.
No, I agree. I like that logic. Which one are you leaning toward? What do you feel stronger about?
Delaware, but it's a coin flip.
You know what? They made fun of it in Wayne's World. Look, I'm in Delaware, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with Delaware.
Yep, we'll go with Wayne's World. Delaware, lock it in.
They have locked in Delaware. Steven, if you ever want to go to Rhode Island is freaking beautiful. I have family up there. It's one of my favorite places to go. Your correct answer.
A lot of parks there that you can go to with your relatives.
I actually think in Newport, Rhode Island, I think there is something there because Rhode Island would not be the correct answer. Your correct answer is Delaware.
Oh, no! Oh, my God. Boy, that makes Tiger Woods sting even more.
And just like that, 2 of your 400-point questions are out the window. Leah and Jonathan, it's back to you.
I don't know. Do you want to go another 400 or do you want to try and salvage some of the smaller ones?
I'm shook, right?
It's so funny because Chris has been stressing about this all week. He's like, is this too hard? Is this too easy? Like, he's been sending these questions to, like, random people because...
I just put them up on Craigslist.
Who uses Craigslist anymore?
I attach a topless picture and I get responses.
So it was hard to gauge by his response if these were going to be hard questions or easy, and apparently they're going to be hard for us.
Well, they don't. So I noticed that the 400-point are challenging and don't have clues in them. Right. So they basically had to pick 1 out of 20 states or 1 out of 15 plus states, and they got lucky the same way that we could have if I'd have gone with your answer. But I'm not feeling like there's going to be a lot to lead us there if we don't know the answer. So maybe the 400s are a little harder than I want. Are you interested in doing a 300 for? Actually, what topic would you like to do one in?
We haven't done advertising yet, right? No one's done advertising, so we could.
Nobody has.
We could gauge, but I'd hate to do a 300 on if it's their first.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that too.
So we could do like a 200 advertising, or we could do 300 in something that we have already experienced.
Do you want to give entertainment a try?
Okay, yeah, let's do 300 entertainment.
Okay.
Here we go. In 1960, model and actress Anita Ekberg had a very memorable year. Not only did her hit film La Dolce Vita debut, she also took perhaps her most famous photograph. In this photo, she had grown tired of the intrusive paparazzi and decided to confront them while yielding what weapon? She would have fit right in while battling Thanos. Mike and Steven, do you want to rebound?
Just to clarify, was she yielding a weapon or wielding a weapon?
Did I say yielding?
You did.
It's a yielding.
It was in her hand.
She's like, yeet!
I'm
finishing my second beer now. Mike, Steven, are you rebounding or no?
No. I mean, I have a strong guess, but not good.
That's a no. Jonathan and Leah, talk it out.
So in the battle against Thanos, if we're looking at the Avengers, right?
Yeah. That's the only way I'm ever going to have a guess for this.
Yeah, me too.
We do it this way.
Thor has his hammer.
Yep.
In fact,
wrong show, Jonathan.
I have a toy of this right now.
Mjolnir.
Cap has his shield. Iron Man has his Iron Man suit. Hawkeye has bows and arrows. Hulk has Hulk
Stop right
smash.
there. She actually put on a full Iron Man suit. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's obviously. Falcon shoots stuff from the air.
Yeah, that's not
Ant-Man,
a weapon.
Black Widow. I feel like it's got to be a hammer.
So it's either of the ones you've named, and I'm a big Avengers fan, and I've seen the final battle with Thanos like 1,000 bajillion times, and I cry every time. The only things that were really used as weapons, like actual weapons, like I don't think it's going to be a shield because that seems weird to have as a shield.
Exactly.
So it's either going to be a hammer or bows and arrows, I would think, because everyone else uses a gun, but that's stupid. That wouldn't be in a question.
Agreed.
The only unique weapons would be bows and arrows or a hammer. So she wouldn't have used like a Thor hammer. She would have used like a
claw hammer.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get you. I don't know what she would have done.
Well, if she used a bow and arrow, it wouldn't have trick arrows in it either. Like, here's my grappling hook arrow.
Right, exactly. But she could have pulled out a bow and arrow and shot it.
She could have. She could have.
I guess, but more people have hammers around their house. I guess.
I'm right there with you.
So
I think we should go hammer.
Because I can't think of any. I would be between hammer and bow and arrow because I can't think of any other like distinctive weapon that was used. Because everyone else either has a mystical power or a gun or a suit, pretty much.
I mean, maybe she has web shooters.
Right.
Right.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
and I think we would have
awesome.
known about that one because I've never heard of anything at the beginning of that question. I've never heard anything about. So
me neither.
I don't know. So do you feel more confident going with hammer or bow and arrow?
Hammer.
Hammer. Okay, let's go with hammer.
All right.
Hammer time.
They have locked in hammer. Anita Ekberg has a pretty famous photo, and I would recommend that you Google it because, one, she's very attractive. She is.
Is she famous? We've never heard of this person.
Never heard of La Dolce Vita?
No.
Wait, when you were reading that question, I was sitting there screaming, La Dolce Vita, and then you said it. I was like, nope, I know nothing else.
That's Fellini,
Somebody's
right?
not into their Italian neorealism film movement.
That is Fellini, right? I'm not wrong.
It's Fellini, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Late Fellini, but it's Fellini.
It's still, I would still take late Spielberg over any Michael Bay, so. All right. Anita Ekberg drew a bow and arrow.
Ugh. This game is so hard.
There is a photo out there, and it's literally her pointing a drawn arrow and bow at a paparazzi who's taking her picture.
And this is in the 1960s, this was a famous person?
Anita Ekberg, yeah, she was a model.
Never
and
even
actress.
heard that name before.
Yeah, I've never heard of her either. But wow, I'm really bad at talking you out of right answers.
Well, I
think you're really good at it.
I wasn't leaning towards bow and arrow. I was just, those are the only two weapons I could think of.
I tried to throw it in there. I don't typically think of a hammer as a weapon other than in the Avengers movies, whereas bow and arrow is
I'm sure that there are some serial killer people out
no,
there who
Old
have
Boy.
used...
Old Boy. I think that hallway scene in Old Boy is actually a hammer as well. But Mike and Steven, you're up.
That's that really violent movie you like.
That's a great movie.
For
Holy
what it's worth,
crap,
I would've
she's
guessed
literally
Laughlin,
like
so.
head up, point on with the bow and arrow.
Yeah. Told you.
And I love Hawkeye. Was that thrown in there to try to get me to guess Hawkeye? Because he's my favorite.
No, that was thrown in there because I was reading on Facebook and came across one of those clickbait things.
I don't know
Never
if any...
seen La Dolce Vita, and Hawkeye is her favorite.
Yeah, I mean... I know. We've had this discussion before. I stand by my love of Hawkeye.
Okay, moving on. Steven and Michael, what are we going with?
I may be batshit crazy.
Yes.
Okay, not may. Honestly, my immediate instinct was let's do literature Tribon for 4.
I'll
Whoa.
go with that.
Have at it.
Tribon that. Lit
Okay.
Tribon for 4, please.
Lit Tribon for 4.
Please be one we know that we can steal. Or
I will say
whatever
this.
the word is.
I do think this is the hardest question of the entire night.
Oh, thank God.
Well,
I could have predicted that.
You could have warned me.
Here is your question. What English playwright and contemporary of William Shakespeare wrote the following plays? The Devil's Law Case, The Duchess of Malfi, and The White Devil. If it helps at all, he was also name-dropped in the opening song in the musical Something Rotten. Leah and Jonathan, do you wish to rebound?
I think I do, Leah.
Oh, please, yes.
I think I do.
If you know, because I have a guess, but I trust you way more than me right now because I only
wanna,
know something.
I want to
rotten.
rebound. I'll put it in here.
Yeah. Go type, do whatever we have to do for that.
They have locked in their rebound. Michael and Steven, it's up to you.
So, Stephen, when I think of contemporaries of Bill Shakespeare, the only one I think of is Christopher Marlowe.
Don't think it's Marlowe. Okay,
That's my problem.
I've heard like the Something's Rotten soundtrack like once, and it's been a while.
Right. But the downside is I'm not sure I can name another contemporary of William Shakespeare.
I mean, if you just need a contemporary, Miguel Cervantes was alive at the same time. I doubt that's it, but
I doubt that. No, you're correct. But Miguel Cervantes was not an English playwright, so.
Oh, did it say
Queen Elizabeth also alive at the same time?
So yeah.
Okay. So if it's English playwright, I'm probably not going to get other than Marlowe. So
That's kind of where I'm at, and I'm not sure.
I don't feel like that's correct, but it's the best guess I got.
Hey, to borrow a newly favorite phrase across multiple podcasts, I don't want to belabor it any longer. I don't know if I'm going to get any better than Kit Marlowe. So.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
They have locked in Christopher Marlowe, and that is an incorrect answer.
Oh, but it's mentioned in the song. And Christopher Marlowe. I know that's one of the people they reference in that song.
Yeah, but if he didn't write the things, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't
there
know.
are there are a good
people,
15 people listed in that song.
Yeah,
so.
I know this song. I just wouldn't be able. They don't talk about in the song what they wrote. They just list off the people.
All right. Jonathan, what did you lock in with?
My rebound was Marlowe. There's only one meaningful contemporary to Shakespeare that most of us trivia people are aware of, and that's the one.
It is. So I'm going to throw this over to my lovely wife, Leah. Leah, we've seen this musical twice.
Yeah, and
We saw it with the OBC in New York.
Yep.
Can you sing the part where there's the cast is singing through the?
I always mess up the words.
Just sing through it.
I say Wexler, John Lester, and then I always know that John Lester is a baseball player, not an actual thing, but I always say John Lester. And I say
know it now.
Thomas Middleton, Thomas More, and Christopher Marlowe. But I don't know if any of those words are right. That's just what I sing. Are any of those people correct?
Well, you're right. John Lester is a pitcher for the Cubs.
But he used to be for Boston?
He pitched for he used to be for Boston.
Okay, yes, that's what I know him from.
Steven, who was she confusing John Lester for?
I always sing John Lester.
I believe Lester should be Webster.
Webster.
John Webster is your correct answer. And I
That's
wrote
the
that
answer.
because you cannot sing that lyric correct.
I sing the wrong people every single time. And I was like, Thomas Middleton. I was like, isn't he the guy from that?
That's Thomas Middleditch.
Oh, that's who I think of. So I'm singing that part correct? Because I always think from Silicon Valley. That's who I always think. And I'm like, I'm messing up this guy too. I'm just assuming that the guy from Silicon Valley is
No points.
whatever.
No
I just sing the
points.
wrong lyrics all the time.
And may
whatever.
God have mercy on our
For
souls.
the record, my lovely wife Nikki is sitting right here,
Hi,
and
Nikki.
she looked at me and she goes, I would have totally guessed John Webster, because she remembered it from Shakespeare in Love.
All right, and that question was for Mike and Steven, so this one goes right back to Jonathan and Leah. What are we going with?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I feel like we need to try advertising because we haven't done that one yet.
We need to get back on the board with a right answer, too.
So should we do like a 1 or 200?
I think 200.
Okay, 200. Let's do 200 advertising.
200 in advertising. Here's your question. In a 1997 PSA from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, we see an actress hold up a frying pan and smash an egg. This was a callback to their 1987 This Is Your Brain on Drugs PSA. Who was this ironically named actress? And a bonus 2 points if you can tell me what drug does the actress say by name? Mike and Steven, would you like to rebound?
Oh, we are rebounding the hell out of this thing.
Jonathan and Leah, talk it out.
It's
What do you know?
definitely Rachel Lee Cook from She's All That. I was a teenager in the 90s. I know this. Rachel Lee Cook was just coming off of She's All That. I think she had like a short, sporty haircut. I think I can picture it. I think it was like more of like a black and white commercial, maybe with some like bluish tones in it. And she bashes the frying pan and she's like, "This is your brain on drugs." So it's definitely Rachel Lee Cook. I have no idea what the bonus would be.
Could it be ecstasy? I know that was becoming a big thing in the late 90s among teens and early 20s. So, I mean, you had crack, you had heroin, and that heroin maybe would be the big one.
Right.
That,
and I know
like in the
heroin
80s, In the 80s, it was cocaine. In the 90s, it was heroin. But ecstasy took over, became a big deal in the late 90s, too.
Yeah, what would they say?
When you hear her talk, well, it's not they, it's Rachel Lee Cook, according to your answer.
Yeah, it's definitely Rachel Lee Cook. I'm very confident in that. I don't think it's... Yeah, I can't picture what she says. I remember her bashing it is very aggressive. It's like shocking. I can't picture what she's saying though, but I think it's like a one-word answer.
I'd guess heroin then.
Okay, yeah, because I'm picturing like a one word. It's not like, and I don't think it's like marijuana or pot because I can't picture that coming out of someone's mouth. Yes.
Well, not just that,
fine.
but she probably liked pot, so.
Right, and that seems like tame to do a PSA on, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm very confident with Rachel Lee Cook for sure, and yeah, I'm fine with going with heroin for the bonus.
All right, Chris, we want to do heroin.
We want to do heroin, for sure.
High school flashback. Okay, $15, little man, put that shit in my hand. If your money doesn't show, then you owe me, my jungle love. Oh. All right. They have locked in Rachel Lee Cook and heroin. And Mike, your rebound ain't worth shit.
No, it ain't. But that's exactly what I said too.
It is a commercial that did not jumpstart my puberty, but definitely
Yeah, she looked hot in the commercials.
Yeah.
I'm a straight woman, but I remember her looking very nice.
She's a very beautiful woman, and that was enough to make me watch Josie and the Pussycats once. So, with all that being said, your correct answer is, in fact, Rachel Lee Cook. And you're going to add the 2 bonus points as well. Nicely done.
Good job, Jonathan.
It is heroin.
Nice job.
Good pull,
Great
Jonathan.
Job, Leah. That was you. I've never seen that commercial, but now I want to.
Well, it's because because I was a teenager at that time. It was like, it was
I
very
was a
prominent.
20-year-old, but I was not watching much TV. I was in college.
At the end, when she says, any questions, I was like, yes, one. Will you go out with me?
She had to do heroin right beforehand.
Yeah, sure.
Well, she's really skinny, so you kind of assumed.
Yeah.
Oh, they do like the lighting. The lighting is really, I just did heroin kind of lighting.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan and Leah have come back, and they're on the board. We're going over
200
to Mike and Steven. What are we going with, gentlemen?
Steven, I think it's your turn, but I've kind of lost track.
Okay. I think we're still a little in the lead, so let's see if we can't stretch that by staying in the 400s.
Down with that.
Okay. And we did really good at advertisement. You seemed locked in on that, so.
Oh God, that was a fluke, honestly. But if you want to go
now
for
I'm even more for it. Yeah, 400 advertisement.
All right.
400 points in advertising. Here is your question. Funko Pops are literally everywhere. The first Funko product ever released was part of their Wacky Warbler line and featured an advertising icon for what hamburger chain? Leah and Jonathan, do you want to try and rebound?
I want to be able to talk it out with you.
Can't do that. I need a rebound. I need yes or no.
I guess
I'm
no.
not. If you want to, it's on you.
Yeah, I'm going to say no because I feel like if I could talk it out, then yes. But if we can't talk it out, then no.
All right. There is no rebound here. Mike and Steven, what do you think?
So, Wacky Warbler? That's a type of bird? Red Robin?
It could also be just a singer, like a crazy person who sings or a crazy thing that sings.
Yeah, but it's related to a fast food restaurant.
Right.
Because their thing actually kind of looks Funko Pop-ish.
Right.
Big Boy?
Oh, that's way different than where I was going. My mind was on Mayor McCheese, so...
Oh, Mayor McCheese kind of looks like a Funko Pop, too. You might have something there.
I mean, I don't know which... We only need the chain, right?
Yeah, we need the chain.
Character. And
McDonald's might be a great guess,
McDonald's
just because they
has a lot of
advertise their characters, too. I kind of like that now that you said it.
But it's also like, this is a 400-point question. Is he really going to give us McDonald's?
That's true.
I know this. If there's a Mayor McCheese Funko Pop out there, I want it. That sounds awesome.
I love it. That's my main reservation, Steven. Like I said, that was the first thing that popped in my head. And I think that if he was asking for the character, I'd be like, yep, that's a 400-point question. But just asking hamburger chain, it's like that feels too easy. And I might be game logicking it. Oh God, I'm on my third scotch. Excuse me. Big Boy is actually a pretty good guess.
I'm okay with that, but I'd be happy with McDonald's.
I mean,
they have
in a way, the Big Boy never left.
If you think about it, well, with their affordable pricing and
right.
good quality food.
What do you know about?
Well, that was the lead reaction from Chris. Okay.
No, but actually, genuinely, like I know nothing about Funko Pops. I feel like they kind of like really started becoming popular in like the late aughts.
Right. Yeah, I don't collect them either. So.
But so how long were they around before then? And is that going to lead us anywhere? I don't know. Yes, Chris, I know.
No.
Do you want to see my Funko Pops?
Is that a euphemism? Because no.
I was just wondering if that was a euphemism. It's like, I'll show you my Funko Pop.
Oh, I guarantee you. Now, I'm not going to look it up, but I can guarantee you there is a Funko Pop channel on Pornhub. I guarantee
that's
it.
Rule 34. That's Rule 34 of the internet. Like, it just is. I'm not.
Jesus
I'm not good at hamburger chains. Like when I think of hamburger chains, I'm like Five Guys, and it's clearly not Five Guys.
That is definitely on Pornhub.
That's Again, there's Five Guys, definitely a channel on Pornhub. It's got to be a burger chain with a character. Is the only thing that I'm coming with.
Right. I like the Big Boy guess. I think that's an interesting, and honestly, like I could see that being as one of the things that they did early on, long before they really
that would have influenced the style, because it's the big thing is the square head. So
right. No, I actually really like that guess, so I'm good with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
So, Funko Pops, a company based out of Washington State, had their first product with Big Boy Burgers.
Oh my God!
Is that what they guessed? Is that what they ended up guessing?
They did, and the way you can logic to that, just so you know, if you know what Big Boy Burgers is, McDonald's is going to give out licensing.
The big burger.
McDonald's is going to be too big of a company to give out licensing to a small new upstart.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Whereas Big Boy was smaller.
Great point.
See,
Even for the motherfucking win. Nice.
I should have rebounded that one. I wasn't sure. I was either going to go...
Wouldn't have mattered. They got it right.
Doesn't matter.
know.
They got it right.
Because I was between Old Boy and Big Boy, and I knew it was a company that I'd never heard of, and I could picture what the little Funko... He's got like a red and like yellow or white
suspenders with a
checker.
big old...
Yeah.
Yep.
Checker. I know
My
exactly what the
fantasy
Funko
football
looked like.
team is named the Big Boy. Big Boy! And it's a logo. It's the Big Boy logo.
Yeah, I knew exactly what it was. I just couldn't remember what the company name was, which is why I wanted to talk it out. But it doesn't matter anyway. Whatever.
Man, they got 2 400-pointers on us.
Yep.
That is just huge.
We're going to give a score update after the next set of rounds. So we're going back to Leah and Jonathan.
No
what
rush on the
with?
score update. It's fine. I don't care what we go with. I mean, I feel like I'm better at entertainment and U.S. tourism, but
I'm scared
entertainment.
of entertainment.
Yeah, that scares me too. So even though that's one I'm confident with.
I would say sports for 300.
Here is your question. The starting lineup for the 1992 Dream Team rotated throughout their 8 games together. In fact, only 2 players never got a chance to be in their starting lineup. Name one of them. Michael and Steven, do you want to rebound? It actually works here. It's a basketball question.
Oh, it works.
No, it's yes or no. I need it right now.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, they went with no. Jonathan and Leah, talk it out.
Leah, it's probably Christian Laettner.
Right?
So Christian Laettner was still in college. He hadn't gotten to the NBA yet. He had hit the big shot to win the championship for Duke, I think. Duke or North Carolina. I can never remember which school it was.
Okay.
But he and Grant Hill... What?
Who is that?
That was Mike. His
Sorry,
wife's a big Duke fan.
I'm married to a Duke fan. I'm
I don't care about college basketball.
Yeah, no.
So
I was like, is someone dying?
Laettner and Hill did an inbounds pass way down the court with a buzzer beater to win the championship, and Laettner got notoriety and got on the team that way. He was the only amateur there. So he's an amateur. He is not even an NBA player at that point in his career. It seems like he would be the one,
right?
A, that people don't remember was on the team, and B, wouldn't have been respected enough to win or to be a starter.
Right. So,
all right, let's go Laettner.
Yeah, let's go Christian L.
They have
Nope,
locked
nope. We're going Leitner.
Leitner. Yes,
I don't want to mess around with any
Last
first names.
Last name. You need last names. They've gone with Christian Leitner.
Yes, Leitner.
So Christian Leitner is correct. Nicely done.
Woo, we got points.
Jonathan, you seem to know this. Who was the other one? Do you know?
I don't honestly know. If I was guessing, I would guess Clyde Drexler, but it would just be a guess.
So Clyde Drexler did start one game. The other one was injured for a good portion of the
Larry Bird.
tournament. It was John Stockton.
Oh, wow.
Never
No,
heard
I
of
don't
him.
even. I do remember him now in the picture, but no, I didn't realize he was hurt. Carl Malone was on that team, too.
Yeah, Karl Malone was.
It doesn't matter, but those would have been my two guesses.
It doesn't matter.
You're right. It doesn't matter. But now we're over to Mike and Steven. What are we going with, gentlemen?
Your turn to pick. Since I led us into that bear trap last time, I wouldn't trust me with it.
It worked out. Since we're kind of going down this route a little bit, what 400 pointers do we have left?
You've got a 400-pointer in entertainment and a 400-pointer in hodgepodge.
Okay, I was thinking those were the only two. I'm kind of inclined to just go 400 entertainment and see how the cards fall.
I'm good with that.
I mean, you got a big enough lead to do it. It's a good strategy.
Here's your 400-point question. What two actors who portrayed villains in the Star Wars universe combined to star in over 20 horror films for Hammer Productions, including 3 movies as foes Count, Dracula, and Van Helsing? Leah and Jonathan, do you want to rebound?
You've got to name both of them.
You need both.
And not their character names, their
I need the actors'
Yeah.
names.
No, I do not want to rebound.
I could name one pretty for sure, but I can't name two. So, no.
And I could guess characters, but not actors, so no.
Okay, there's no rebound there. Mike and Steven, talk it out.
All right,
So
we can
Christopher
get
Lee.
Christopher Lee, out of the way right away.
That's the one that I would have gone with.
That's the one that everyone knows. These are villains, and he's at Hammer Films and Van Helsing. Like,
Well, here's the thing. There's not that many villains.
correct.
And they're either going to have to be as old as Christopher Lee or from the original trilogy.
Exactly.
I don't think James Earl Jones was in any Hammer horror films.
No, but who was what was the guy's name that was the physical actor for Darth Vader?
David
Prowse, right?
Prowse, yes. That could be.
It's
I
an
mean,
idea.
the one quality I know about David Prowse is he's tall.
He's tall and imposing. Correct.
And I feel like that's enough to get you cast in a Hammer horror film.
It probably is. Let's file that one away while we go through the remainder of the villains.
Other than that,
It's probably not Ian McDermott, right?
probably not, but I don't know what Ian's. The only thing I know Ian McDermott is in the Star Wars films
in
and
Star
35
Wars movies,
Scoundrels.
correct.
Those are the only things I know him from.
All right, so Ray Park was Darth Maul. Probably not Ray Park.
Probably not Ray Park, too young.
Right, exactly. And then Christopher Lee was Dooku in Attack the Clones.
And Dracula a billion times. So
And Dracula a billion times, exactly. And then really in Revenge of the Sith, it was Ian McDermott and Hayden Christensen, which we know it's not Hayden Christensen.
the real villain in the third one was George Lucas.
Well, yes, that's a different discussion for a different podcast.
Wow.
I mean, I actually kind of like the David Prowse answer, but
I could get behind that.
I don't know that we're necessarily going to get anything better. And I can't unless well, actually wait, hold on. Could it be Peter Cushing, Grand Moff Tarkin in New Hope?
Ooh.
Right?
I'm starting to like that.
I kind of like
Yeah,
that a little
I
better.
actually do
now
like
I say
that
it.
a lot. In fact, you could cast him as a Van Helsing.
I
like that a lot. Yes.
All right, I think we
stumbled.
go with that.
I think we stumbled ass backwards into it.
Yep,
go with that.
I like that. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing.
Are those your final answers?
I think so.
Your correct answers. Christopher Lee, duh. And if you've never heard him, Peter Jackson tell the story, or was it Peter Jackson? Someone told the story of Christopher Lee explaining to them what it sounded like for a man to be stabbed. If you have not,
Or you just stab a man in the lungs.
yes, was that
Describe the weeks, and that was Peter Jackson.
that was Peter Jackson, right?
Christopher Lee is the most fascinating person to live during my lifetime.
Holy crap! And a death metal singer too.
Yes.
Christopher Lee is definitely correct. The other person was digitally recreated
Peter Cushing.
in Rogue One. It is Peter Cushing.
Woo!
They pulled that out of their ass.
Oh my lord! I can't handle this.
So your scores right now sit at 1602 for Mike
beating.
and Steven to 902 for Jonathan and Leah.
I'm sorry.
Woo. What are
Yeah.
you sorry about? I've talked us out of a good 700 points.
That's true, he has. Okay, but Jonathan
Literally,
and
if
Leah,
we'd have gone with your answers to 2 questions, we would be tied.
all right, that's the end of our show for this week, everybody. We will be back next week, and we're going to see if Jonathan and Leah can claw their way back into contention as they are chasing down a commanding lead by Steven and Mike. If you're enjoying the show, give us a 5-star rating and write us a review wherever you're listening to the show at. Email us, pubtriviaexperience@gmail.com, or, as always, www.pubtriviaexperience.com, Facebook and Instagram at pubtriviaexperience, at Twitter at pubtriviapod. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Yeah, no, we have, there's actually a really funny story about me and Nikki going to see it, and I splurged on those tickets because Adam Pascal was playing Bill Shakespeare in the cast when they came to Tampa, and we went and we were sitting on the 5th row, and it was the understudy instead of which Nikki assumed was because we had very recently gotten married at that point, and she assumed Adam Pascal had heard about that, and he knew we were coming, and his heart was just broken. And he couldn't.
Yeah, well, he missed his chance to get with Michael Mott, so.
Not sure that's what she meant, but hey.
I did not miss that chance. Throwing it out there.
Nope, did not.
All right.
So he's in Shakespeare in Love, so that's something we should know because
The little kid in Shakespeare in Love.
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, Marlowe was in Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to help y'all.
I know that it won the Oscar that year. It's very controversial.
Should not have won the Oscar that
Right.
year. Okay.
That's the only thing I know about Shakespeare in Love.
Still a wonderful movie, though. Should not have won the Oscar. Still a wonderful movie.
And women dressed up as men. No, men dressed up as women. Sorry.
There you go.
Yep.
Mass hysteria.
I've had 3 drinks already, so I'm just whatever. I need to stop
Dogs and
talking.
cats
Sorry.
living together.
Oh, their big old balls are swinging over here. I'm going to edit that out, too.
Don't edit that at all. That was fantastic.
The patriarchy.
You know, we do.
Inaccurate, but fantastic.
Yeah, I don't edit out a lot of vulgarity, but it doesn't necessarily need to be that graphic, if that makes sense. To me, as weird as it sounds, I've got a line. But
He's like,
here,
look at the balls on Mike. Just sitting on the table like that. That's impressive.
said by nobody ever. Okay.
With his wife in the room.
Yes.
She's gone.
Oh, okay.